Hello, guys. Welcome back to the second episode of Talk and Go. Today, we will be talking about student life during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our guest today is Mohamad Syafiq, a second year law student.
Hi guys.
All right, so now we can start talking about our experiences on how when we are studying online learning and also what is the difference now and our pre-COVID era. Maybe Pavi would like to start first.
Personally, I feel like this is a very big topic, even though it involves only students' life actually. But there's actually a lot of difference that we can see before this COVID thing and after this COVID thing. One how to say one of the big differences is that we went from totally physical class to everything we're doing it online right now. So like, what are your takes on the online class that we are facing like every day right now?
For for me, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it depends lah. Like for me, I think it depends on the course. Whether your course memang requires that you like have to attend it physical, or some courses your presence is not really that important. In my opinion, it really depends on the course.
Okay, can I continue?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So first of all, I'm just gonna say thank you for having me. So I'll be speaking, in my capacity as a student, and I mean previously we've all studied, physically, and now we're moving on towards a more online approach. So I think that it is a very drastic move because previously we're not exposed to such change. I mean, when we studied in university, like I'm in my second year of degree right now, and I'm in fact Tyra's friend. We're studying at the same college, taking the same course. During our like pre-COVID years, we do have like those online learning weeks where we experienced 1 week online learning, and at that time, we were still new to this, and it's very hard for us to adapt because we need to have our own gadgets, and we need to have strong internet. So I guess it is not a very smooth shift from physical classes to online classes. You see, there were hiccups along the way, and we're still adapting. But over time, hopefully, we'll get used to it. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Shafiq said. It's like for us that I feel like when we entered our degree life, we experienced that 1 year of physical studies in university itself, and going from the physical studies to our second year onwards, that is mostly online. I feel like we need to adapt to it, and like uh, it is a totally new experience for us, and I feel like everyone have their own ups and downs in while assimilating to the new process of online learning itself.
Yeah, I agree though. Like not everyone is able to adapt to the changes and the differences. And just like what Shafiq has said, in our university we do have like online learning 1 week. Even before this COVID thing all came, we always had 1 week of online learning for like each faculty. But so at least we kind of know how to get around with this online learning and how to survive with it. A little bit of practice we had. But like I imagine all the other university students, they've never experienced online learning, and suddenly after COVID, it's like, how do you do this? How do you go to this Google Meet, Zoom, and all this stuff? So yeah, I understand. And so since we already know, like we're talking about the differences and the how people need to learn how to adapt, and that's a really tough thing to do. Maybe now we can look at what what actually are the problems that you guys probably face while doing online learning, and what do you think? Obviously everything has its pros and cons. Everything has good and bad things. What is the good things that you all see that can come out of online learning, and also the problems that you face when online learning?
Can I just say something? I mean, I
Yeah.
just find it funny that when we were in high school, we would think that in the future we would have better educational system. And we would have imagined, those online learning as one of those revolutionary stuff that might happen in the future. And now we're actually experiencing it. But now, see, we're all complaining about this. But again, my point is we have, everything has its own pros and cons. And for me, well, personally, I think that it's hard for me to say which one is better, either physical or online. But for me, online learning takes like a lot of your energy, and it's quite energy draining for me because you're like studying all the time. Previously, when we go to college, we just learn, within the four walls of the classroom. We just go to lecture halls, we jot down notes, and we just end, our academic stuff there. And then we go back to our college dorms or our house, just to revise and to do homework. See, we don't really bring those heavy learning stuff with us at home. And now since we're studying, at our own comfort, in our own house, we're practically learning the whole day, the whole time. There are classes, and then after classes, there's like 1 hour gap, and then for that 1 hour gap, we just do it just to rest for a bit. But we still need to do tutorials, assignments, presentation. So we're still learning. It never ends. It's a never ending process. Meanwhile, in the other hand, if during physical classes, we don't feel as exhausted as we are now. Do you guys get what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just
see.
want. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, actually, although I'm in the same faculty, same course with Shafiq, I actually don't agree with his opinion because I feel like, as far as I know lah, my faculty, I feel like, I think it's the same. If you go physical also, yes, you will study for that 1 hour. You'll have, even physically also, you will have that 1 hour break in between, and then you will go back to your room, or you will sit down at the faculty, at the library, spend your time. Like, eventually, because they still give you the same amount of assignments, there's a still same amount of tutorials, you are still going to go back to your room, to go back to your hostel, and end up doing that same assignment and tutorial. And now you're just doing it at home. I feel like there's no difference because it's not like as far as I know, I don't think that my faculty has given us like extra workload considering that we are in online and at home. Because for me, I feel like it's the same amount of work that they give us when we were in physical and also online. But I know that there are some universities or maybe other faculties that the lecturers tend to give more work now because they think that, oh, you are at home and you're online. Maybe Pavi can talk about that because for me, I don't really feel that much of difference.
Um, Personally, I feel like I agree with what Shafiq said. There's goods and there's bad to both sides of the physical and online class. So, like, one thing that I feel like plays an very important role in the process of education is our own environment, like where we study, the process of learning, where does it take place, and so on. I feel like that's the difference that plays a huge role here, lah. So, one thing when it comes to online, we are at home, and I feel like at home, personally, I feel like home isn't the best environment for someone to study. Like, actually, that's the difference when it comes to physical and online class. So, like, for myself, I agree with what Shafiq said. It's very draining. Um, what Shaira said, that even though like the workload is the same for some people, their workload is the same, but being at home, doing doing what things that you're supposed to do in university, now you're doing it at home. I feel like it's very mentally exhausting, the process of studying at home.
I would like to back my case up, if I may. I mean, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's the mindset because previously we just tell ourselves that, oh, it's gonna end right after lecture hour, and then we can go back home and rest for a while. But now we're literally turning our room into lecture halls. It's like it's energy draining. There's no way to escape it. And since it's related to our topic of discussion today, it's about students in pandemic. We all have different coping mechanisms, right? I mean, for me, I think that going out to malls with friends, cafe hopping, those coping mechanisms would help me to release my stress, and at least I wouldn't feel as much stressed as I am in the pandemic right now, where I cannot even leave my room or my house. So there's no way of me coping with things. So I cannot distract myself from from literally I literally cannot distract myself from anything. I can't go out, I can't see my friends, and even seeing them virtually does not have the same feeling as seeing them physically. So yeah, some people they would like to go to the gym, for instance, as a way of coping mechanism, so that they wouldn't feel stressed about academic pressure. But now since gyms are closed, they're staying in their own room, so they don't have any other ways to cope with that. So they would think, oh fuck, I have a lot of work to be done. Something like that. Excuse me for it.
But I feel like, okay lah, I get it lah, like, some people have different coping mechanisms, and for some people, like, going out with their friends and stuff is like a way to release their stress. But eventually I feel like you can find a way around it, like I don't know, maybe find another hobby, another different thing for you to release your stress. You cannot always just limit your stress to, I mean, limit your hobby or something to release your stress. Like, okay, I only like going to the gym. Now there's pandemic, that's all lah. I cannot do anything already after this. Like, I don't know, find something else that calms you. I'm sure there are other ways that could calm you, that could help you de-stress and stuff. And but I understand also what you guys are saying lah, because for some people, because for me, my house is, most of the time is very quiet, so there's not really that much of disturbance when I actually have online class. There's not many people, but I understand that some people, they have like lots of siblings, or their siblings are younger, and like, it's noisy and there's many people at home, and so for them online class is really stressful, because you want to study, you want to listen to the lecturer, and then there are people shouting there or screaming behind, talking. And then, okay, yes lah, that is one of the problems that I know many people face. And also, that one more thing is that the internet problem lah, because not everybody has the internet, not everybody has the money to have a Wi-Fi at home, or enough money to buy data every month, and data that is able to let you enter Google Meet, Zoom and all, and actually open camera and talk, because some courses actually require the students to open the camera and talk. God knows how much of data, how fast it will be consumed if you have to open and talk every class. So yes lah, that is one of the problem with online learning.
I just want to continue on the first point that Shaira said about like the environment at home. For example, like if you have a family, or if you have a big family with many siblings, that could be a major problem. For example, the noisy part. I just wanted to elaborate more on how the environment affects us. For example, like we are at home. When we are at home, the workload of studying is still the same. But then when we are at home, I'm not saying everyone, but some families feel that when you stay at home, like you are free, you are at home, you can help them do stuff. For example, housework, cooking, cleaning, going out to get groceries and all that. I feel like some families feel that when you're at home, you are just free to help them do whatever they want. When actually we are also studying every day. The process of studying, doing assignments, doing exam, tests, and everything is still going on. I feel like that will affect students also lah.
But I feel like, I understand, I know that many people, their family will like think that, oh, you're at home, what, so you can do this housework, you can do that housework. But I feel like, why, instead of complaining that, why can't the student itself talk to their family and say, no, I'm having class now, or no, I'm doing my assignment now. Like, why can't you all stand up for yourself and just tell that what you are doing? Like, I
No,
get
no,
it,
no,
like,
no.
your family will tell you all,
I,
but you also have to explain it. Like, why wouldn't your family understand?
No, I'm not talking about the family understanding the issue. Okay, I want you to imagine like we staying in university, focusing solely on studying and doing what is needed for ourselves. and staying at home and doing all this other stuff while studying as well. The workload of this and this is two different stuff, you know. That's what I'm trying to say, lah.
And sometimes you,
That's what I'm trying to say, lah.
yeah, true. And sometimes you feel guilty for not helping as well. Kalau if you're staying at home, you feel like, I should be helping my parents right now, but like we still have classes, so yeah. I mean, we're conflicted between those stuff.
Okay, probably the reason I can't relate is because I don't do anything
Oh,
at home.
okay. Yeah, it depends. It depends at the end of the day.
I wanted to say something just now, but I forgot.
Internet issue.
I just want to continue a bit about the workload, right? Maybe you all said earlier that your workload is still the same, but for me, my lecturers, some of my lecturers, they think that because we're at home, we are more free also. And because of that, they tend to give more assignments, more tests, more homework, more stuff to revise. And I feel, personally, I went through all this, and I feel like it's an extra burden, studying online, because lecturers think that we are more free, we are more available, and we are like sitting at home, goyang kaki je, tak buat benda lain. They just think, just give them extra stuff to study.
Okay,
That is what I went
like
through
that
this
means
past
I
semester.
understand lah. I agree lah. That is a problem which I know a lot of people face it lah from social media. I read a lot of people say that whole online learning, and then we have like so much of extra work and stuff. Like that means yes, that is a problem. But besides the problems, we're talking a lot about the problems. Let's talk about the good things lah.
But
Like now online learning, the lecturers, some of us, the lecturers actually allow us to, when we have exams or tests, sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's open book. So isn't that good, helpful? Because you're having an open book exam.
Okay, definitely
What do you
is for
think?
me. For me, I think yeah, you have access
Do you
to
have
the
open
internet
book?
and
Like you can study and find, but I
yeah,
don't know, I think most of the courses do have open book, but not all could, because some I think their lecturers would ask them to open their camera also while answering exam, like to open their camera while answering exam. Okay, that one is all that is not an open book lah, but some lecturers memang don't allow you to open book. They say like, oh, this is not an open book exam. Then like that means it's too bad lah. But of course, a lot of them allow us to open our book, and with this, it obviously helps you to improve your grades and all lah with this open book thing, which we wouldn't be able to improve if we were having physical lah.
I agree with the grades part, but I want to beg to differ because my course, I'm doing a language course, and for me, my exams will consist of a lot of essays, So memang we have a lot of open book exams, but one disadvantage of open book exam is, for me personally, I feel like I get more lazier. I get lazier day by day because I know that we can find stuff online, and I'll postpone everything to like last minute studying and like just hope that I can find everything online. So basically, I'm not studying if there's open book exam, I'm not studying, and it makes me stupid. So that's what open book exam does
Okay,
for me.
actually yes lah. Actually law also like that lah, because our exams are also online, right? I mean, and everything can be found, and everything is essays. Our exams also all essays mostly. Only sometimes we have like multiple choice questions. So actually yeah lah, I go through that also, right? Like we'll be like, oh, can find lie in the book, got lie in the book. Yeah,
I guess it
actually yeah,
depends
like
on the course as well. I mean,
yeah,
some
everything
courses,
depends
yeah,
on the
on the
course.
course, yeah.
And
But
yeah, and also yeah, you go ahead first.
I mean, for us, I mean, we might be lucky. We might be lucky lah because we have access to these open sources kind of stuff. But there
Yeah.
are students who have to have those kind of like practical exams. I heard those who are taking science or practical courses.
If you're like a doctor or an engineer,
That would be hard
who
for
have to
them.
go lab,
Yeah.
that
Like,
one
how
I
do
don't know.
they
I
cope?
Yeah,
don't know
I
how they
feel like
survive.
like students from science courses, science related courses, they have like practical and lab,
Ah,
like on when normally they will go to like the lab to carry out their experiment or whatever project they have. Now everything they do online, they are forced to learn through videos and through YouTube. And I feel like it when there is no much engagement, I feel like the process of acquiring the knowledge, right, it's not as good as when it comes to physical lessons
and I
lah.
don't even know how
For
efficient it is and how much does it work. Like, let's say you are like a medical student and you need to go and do practical, and your practical is probably like, I don't know, some big stuff that you have to do. And if you don't do it, and how do you even do that online? And it's not the same, because sometimes you have to do like hands on, and if you are not hands on with it, how would you know the knowledge of how to do it? Like, I don't know, cut something, cut the skin or something. I don't know what medical students do. Yes, you can watch a video how to cut, we all can watch a video on how to cut, but to actually go and do it, put it and actually cut it, that's like a whole different thing. So yeah, I understand. Like, and also like engineering students with their lab and their machines and their, I don't know, maybe chemicals and stuff. How would you know how to do it and operate that stuff, and actually carry out an experiment and know for yourself the results.
Yeah, I guess that's more to the con part
Ah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah.
those types of
I
online
think like
learning.
the pros of online learning is actually not that much lah. Besides that, you are able to get better grades, but that is also subjective and depends on the course and whether
yeah,
your lecturer and your university allows you to consider that as an open book or not. Because some may be like, this is not an open book, but whether the student ends up making it an open book or not, that's a whole other story lah. But yeah, so actually I agree lah, there are actually more cons with online learning.
But can I just say that I gain more computer literacy skills during online learning? I mean, I feel like I explored more like applications that might be useful
Ah,
for me, like Canva, for instance. I feel like everyone started using Canva during online learning. What do you guys think?
yeah, I didn't even know what was Canva before this. After online learning only, I was like, oh, there's such thing as Canva and it's famous and people use it for presentations and stuff. Yeah, true lah actually. And like many people today know how to, use Zoom, Google Meet, Skype,
Yeah.
Microsoft Teams. Like people before this never know. Some of them don't even know such apps existed. Some they know, but they don't know how to use it. Today, a lot of them are actually good and are really able to use it. Even our lecturers who are way older and
Mm.
stuff also, they are also learning and they are also now smart in these online things and stuff now. Yeah, true lah.
yeah, I have to agree on that part being one of the pros. Like before this, I feel like when we were transitioning from physical to like online, I feel like not only students, many lecturers were like buta IT. They didn't know much about this thing, and because of that, I feel like the process of studying wasn't that much efficient. But after like everyone have gotten used to it, I feel like now it's gotten easier for lecturers to do class and even students to just like they just one click and then they just join the class. I feel like after getting used to it, it's more easier for everyone lah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm quite proud of where I am now compared to during physical classes, in terms of computer literacy skills, because previously I haven't fully utilized those applications on my laptop. I didn't know why they were there in the first place. But now I use like Microsoft OneNote on a daily basis, Google Documents, Google Calendar, those kind of stuff. And it some way helps me to become more organized. Those kind of stuff. It helps me indirectly.
Yeah, and actually, eventually, when you go to work, also, I think it does help, right? Because you will need to use all these when you actually go work, compared to like just simply typing in your Word document and then go back, save in your laptop. That's all. Today, we are using Google Docs, where when we do group assignments, everybody's editing in the Google Doc and stuff. So at least we know Excel and all this, correct, lah? Because that is one of the pros, lah, besides the better grades thing, yeah.
How about your video editing skills or picture edit or poster editing skills?
I feel like
I actually, that one depends because not everybody is doing poster and video. Okay, like me, I do not associate myself with anything that has to do poster or video thing. Like if I want to join a club or if I want to do anything, if that thing requires people to do poster video editing, I wouldn't choose that. Because I think that you need to study lah, you need to learn how to do it lah. But of course today many people know how to do it more. But yeah, for me no lah, there's not really much improvement in that area because I don't jump into it. I don't touch my hands on that area. Pavi, I think he has experience.
Yeah, I feel like online thing. I would be one of the go-to person to do like this poster and video all. So like when it becomes online, I feel like I took the initiative myself to like go and explore new stuff, like find out new apps and learn more soft skills like this editing and photography and all this. And I feel like if this online thing didn't happen, I wouldn't be as good as I am now with editing as I was before lah.
Speaking of skills, right? Don't you think that one of the cons of online learning is that you lose your communication skills? I mean, I feel like previously I've just been communicating with my friends through screen, but now when I go out, to get my vaccine, for example, I would stutter just to talk to people.
It
What do you
get,
guys do? You guys
it gets
experience the same
really
problem?
it gets really really awkward, I have to say lah. When normally all you do is like talk through like Zoom or Google Meet, and then normally you talk in WhatsApp and social media only. So like when you go out and meet to face, and when I feel like yeah, exactly, where our communication skill has dropped a lot. Like me, even I stutter a lot with my friends.
Okay lah, for me I think in that area I don't really have for me in that area I don't really have that much issues lah, because it's like um I don't know, for me I don't really have, even though I don't really talk much at home and stuff also, and I also only talk online. Not to say I have many people at home, but I will still go out and be able to talk. But maybe because I don't really go out and never talk to people outside and try. Once I try, then maybe I might have a problem. I don't think so. But like when I went for vaccine and stuff, yeah, actually because I didn't have to talk to people, it just like move, and people will show you go here, go there, go here, go there. So I just like walk maybe and just go. Then they ask questions and be like, yeah, no, yeah, that's all. So maybe to actually go and talk to people, maybe I would have a problem lah. Like ask directions, like last time when we go to mall or we sesat means we have to ask people
Yes,
how to
yes.
go. Today I don't know lah. I would be able to do that or not. Maybe I should be like, oh my god, I should go and talk. How should
Exactly.
I go and approach? Yeah, I get it lah. True lah, I
Exactly.
understand.
How about our health? Like, you guys think
Okay, that one is
we'll
also
suffer
very
like health
true.
problems in the long run?
Oh my God, don't talk about the health lah, because
Okay.
I think that this health, right, ever since this online thing, ever since this pandemic, my health is like gone lah. Because at least last time I will walk, I will walk to the faculty, I will
True.
change classes and just walk to the cafe, walk to anywhere lah, go out and stuff. Today, because I'm only sitting down in front of the laptop for God knows how many hours, because class, right, it's like God knows how many hours continuously, and you only have like 1 hour break in between or something like that. So I just be sitting in the laptop up, and sometimes my back will pain, my neck will pain, all these pains will come, and then I also like the movement, our movement is much more lesser, so it's really 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 not healthy, and you eventually actually do experience like back pains, neck pains, shoulder pains. Yeah, and also I gained weight all during the pandemic, so
I have to agree to that because like we sit in front of our laptop only like all day. Even like after classes, we're doing assignment, everything is on our laptop, and like I feel like even like I'm wearing specs, right? My eyesight has gotten worse because I've been staring at my laptop all day, like throughout the sem, right? I feel like I have to get a new specs eventually.
I relate, I relate.
yeah, probably mine also has increased. Because I never check, I don't know, but probably lah, because we are always using it now, we are like way more frequently
Yeah.
online, and looking at a screen, right? So yeah, probably.
That worries me as well. I mean, we're still 21. I mean, like, we're still, in our early 20s. So, like, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 years because, those exposure. And I feel like almost everyone I know is suffering from back pain, from sitting in front of their laptop way too much. So, we're still anticipating on what's going to happen in next 10 to 20 years.
Let's see.
Let's see if we make it.
Okay, now we've talked about all the pros and the cons. So now let's talk about like, do you guys have any like advice to the people out there who is like online learning, or what do you hope? If not an advice, maybe what do you hope regarding this learning, online learning, or do you hope a physical learning, or what are your hopes for the future? And yeah, anything, any of you can start first.
That'd
I
be
feel like, yeah, I feel like, how to say, uh, everyone have a way of coping, right? And it's maybe not for everyone, but I feel like for some it will be a very hard time, especially during online studies. So I just want to say to everyone that you're not alone, and if you feel like it's mentally exhausting, or you're very anxious, or you're depressed, or you're sad, or you feel alone, I feel like during these tough times you have to like reach out to people, talk to people, and like, even though it's very hard, just look forward to the sem break, and you can enjoy your sem break cow after that. You just got to push through and like do your best lah. That's all I feel for this online studies thing.
I agree. I mean, I feel
What
very
about?
relieved knowing that Shire and Pavi also share the same opinion as me and they're experiencing the same things that I also experience on a daily basis. So I feel like I'm not alone in this, and I feel like there are a lot of students out there who are probably suffering the same thing, who are probably thinking the same thing. So, we all are looking out for each other. We're talk to your friends, talk to your peers, talk to someone, or like, if it gets worse, maybe seek professional help. Maybe they could help you. So yeah, I mean, we're all in this together. Let's just hope that this pandemic will be over soon, hopefully, and then we can start living our normal life.
For me, I feel like I just want to say that I understand what everyone is going through, even though I may not be going through what some of them are going through, because some people out there are not having the privileges that we have.
I
Many
agree.
people come from a very hard background. They do not have the technology, the gadgets, the all the kemudahan, all the facilities that we have at home. Phone, we have our phone, laptop. Not everybody has it.
Internet
Some people don't even
connection.
have Wi-Fi, don't have data, and many of them, they actually work hard, they study hard to actually end up entering into a university. But the sad thing is that once they've entered into university now, they are facing a pandemic and they have to go to online learning, and then they need to use all these things which they do not own, and so I can just imagine how hard it is. I wouldn't even know what I would do if I was in that situation. Like today I can just say that yes, I know there are people out there suffering like that, and I understand. I don't even understand 100% how they are feeling, because unless you are them, you would know how hard it is, having to catch up with deadlines. And today, nowadays, cyber cafes are also not open, so where do you go to get all this help? Like normally last time people go to cyber cafe when they do not have laptop or anything, they want to go print something. Today I don't know where do these people go, but I just want to say that, if you do face these kind of problems, like maybe you can talk to your friends, or maybe try to seek help, like from your friends, from your nearby people, neighbors, or anybody, like just seek help, you know uh, with laptops or Wi-Fi, or to get internet, because yeah, because I can just imagine what you're going through, and I know that I'm sure that there are many people out there who are willing to help you in any way that they can for your education. So yeah, that is my advice lah. Besides that, I also hope that the pandemic ends, of course, because it's like I said lah, that is one of the very bad things that people are experiencing. So with the ending of pandemic, with everybody being able to go to university, many things will solve, many problems for many students will be solved. Like their beban, their responsibility, their hardships will be like lessened by like probably 90% lah, if we can start going to university and attend classes physically. Yeah, so conclusion for me is that student life during COVID-19 pandemic is hard. Generally, it is hard, but for some people, it may be harder than the others. And also that not everybody experiences the feeling of not what do you call this, attending physically, because some people, they are very affected. Like I said, people who are very affected, maybe those science courses students, but those who are not really science courses, you are able to study online. But of course, that we have to take into consideration whether you have all this kemudahan and stuff lah. So it really depends. So if you ever feel like you are having trouble, just talk to your friends, maybe talk to your lecturers and explain to them your situation. That's my conclusion. Yeah.
Syafiq, do you have any final?
I agree with you. I do indeed. I mean, for me, I think I agree with what you guys said. It is a hard time for all of us, and I feel like we should use this time to acknowledge our privileges, and to acknowledge that some of us are as the same, enjoy the same privileges as we do. So we need to help each other out. Maybe talk. I mean, like have like daily conversations with them, catch up with them. I mean, our mental health is also at stake right now, and it's mental health is as important as physical health. So you need to sort these kind of things out. Talk to your peers, talk to someone professional, because it is a very hard time for all of us, and some of us experience worse worse experiences than others. Some people might not have internet connection. Some people might have strong internet connection. So those differences, we should acknowledge those differences during these tough times. And maybe we can help out those Bendera Putih app. Yeah, we should fully utilize that. And yeah, I guess that's all. That's what I have to say on that.
I just gotta keep it short. I totally agree with what both of you said, especially during these tough times. I feel like we have to be more understanding towards each other, help each other out, keep looking out for each other, and just how to say, push through lah. I feel like that's pretty much it lah. And I just want to thank Syafiq for agreeing to be the guest for our second episode. I really appreciate you coming out of this episode and sharing your experience with us as well.
Thank you for having me.
Alright guys, I think we can wrap this up now. Bye. Everyone say bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay, hi guys. So I hope you guys like this video today, our second episode for Talk and Go. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe our video. Okay, thank you. Bye.